Really? You went with Yoshi? Did he tell you his experience with taxes at all? Yeah, my good friend, Tom Nook. Not too long ago, I made a video talking about when we could see Animal Crossing get revealed this year. My ultimate conclusion was that we'll probably be seeing it at E3. And my main reasoning for that is every time we've gotten a gameplay reveal for Animal Crossing, it's actually been at E3, at least for the last several games throughout the 2000s. So that's where I've stood all this time. I haven't been expecting to see Animal Crossing get revealed anytime soon. Well, E3 is relatively soon, but you know what I mean, before then. However, as evidence presents itself, I think sometimes we should reassess our conclusions and then maybe potentially come up with a new conclusion. So, as it turns out, Tom Nook is helping us with our taxes. What do I mean? I just mean that Nintendo tweeted out a picture of Tom Nook talking about how he could help you out with your tax returns and maybe you could use those tax returns to buy a Nintendo Switch. This tweet could just be for fun, for marketing, but everyone sort of blew it out of proportion maybe and got really excited about it because we're all desperate to see Animal Crossing. It's the last big main game that we know that's coming out this year that hasn't been revealed yet, and everyone's really excited. We want to see Animal Crossing. So is this tweet potentially a tease that an Animal Crossing reveal could be around the corner? Well, like I said before, the last several Animal Crossing games have all gotten gameplay reveals at E3. So I'm inclined to believe that that's still probably the more likely time, but it's not impossible that maybe Animal Crossing could get revealed in a direct in the not so distant future. So I went back and I looked at the history of Nintendo Directs around this time, and as it turns out, we've either gotten a Nintendo Direct in March or April every year. And if you go all the way back to 2014, we had a Nintendo Direct on February 13th, which sounds a lot like this year where we got a Nintendo Direct on February 13th, except here's the difference. In spring, April time, we also got another Nintendo Direct. That was a dedicated Smash Bros. Nintendo Direct. So, am I saying that we will be getting a Smash Bros. Direct this April? I think that's very possible. I think a Nintendo Direct is kind of inevitable. I don't know if Animal Crossing will be a part of that or if it will be at E3, but I think it's either at this next big Nintendo Direct before E3 around, at this point, probably April time, or at E3. But for Smash Brothers, I'm thinking that there has to be some sort of Smash Bros. Reveal really soon. When I say reveal, I mean some more announcements. We know that there's a 3.0 update. Supposedly it's coming with a few new modes. That's a rumor, but I do kind of believe it based off the way they teased it at the last Nintendo Direct. We know Joker's going to be coming out soonish, and they're going to have to show off gameplay for him, and of course his stages and assist trophies and spirits and all that good stuff. And then we've also been getting a lot of rumors about the second fighter for the Challenger's Pass. A lot of people are saying Erdrick from Dragon Quest. I think that's fairly likely. They gotta reveal that pretty soon as well. So you gotta think that they're gonna have to have some big Smash Bros. Update relatively soon, maybe in its own dedicated Smash Bros. Direct. That'll be really cool to see. But I'm inclined to believe that we will not be getting a dedicated Smash Bros. Direct because it is, at the end of the day, just DLC. I feel like it makes more sense for it to be at a general springtime Nintendo Direct. So I'm thinking that we are going to be getting a Nintendo Direct this April, but I don't think it's going to be a dedicated Smash Bros. Direct, but it will have those Smash Bros. Updates, it will have a Smash segment, and it will be pretty major as far as DLC goes for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And with that Direct, I think there's also the possibility we could be seeing Animal Crossing. Maybe Nintendo is teasing this with this Tom Nook image about tax returns and such. I've heard some people say that it's a new render. I'm not 100% sure on that. It may very well be. So guys, let me know in the comments if that's the case. Sorry, I didn't do that much research for this video because I'm actually really sick and I'm just doing what I can here because I really want to talk about this. But it's possible that this is a tease, regardless if it's a new render or not. It's possible. But I'm still going to stick with E3 as a more likely time, but hey, if it happens in April, I'm not going to be surprised either. So then, if there's a Nintendo Direct, there's a possibility we could see maybe Animal Crossing. I think it's nearly 100% that we're going to be seeing Smash Bros. In a Nintendo Direct in April. That's what I'm thinking. What else could be there? Well, We recently got the announcement for Cuphead coming to the Nintendo Switch at the Nindies Direct, and that was a part of a massive rumor talking about a whole bunch of Microsoft published games coming to the Nintendo Switch, but the first two that are supposedly coming are Cuphead and Ori. We've gotten Cuphead, maybe Ori could be the next in line of those Microsoft announcements for the Nintendo Switch this April time in a fairly major Nintendo Direct. I think that's a possibility. And another reason why I think it makes sense for there to be a Nintendo Direct is because when you look at the games that are supposed to be coming out, there are some third-party games that need to get featured, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The Endgame is coming out soon. I'm sure they want to have Marvel Ultimate Alliance come out not too far from then, so it may get a bit of a feature. That's a possibility. Technically, Daemon X Machina hasn't gotten a release date yet. Maybe we'll get some feedback after the trial run, you know, the demo they allowed us to play. Maybe they'll finally give us a release date now. That's a possibility. But if you look at the May time of the year, there is no game that is slated for May that's being published by Nintendo. Nothing. May is just a dead month, yet we're having a whole bunch of other months that have 2 or 3 games. And if you look at the list of games that are already supposed to be coming out this year, the second half of 2019 is looking to be quite crowded. So you gotta think maybe, probably, something should be coming out in May. Now, it doesn't have to be a big major game like Animal Crossing or Pokemon, but it could at least be maybe a remake or some sort of smallish title like Sushi Strike or something along those lines. And because I am a huge fan of this series, and because there have been several rumors that have been talking about it, of course they've kind of died down because we haven't gotten any announcements about it, I have to say it, even though we've been let down time and time again, because it's what I believe, so I'm going to tell you the truth. I think there's a chance Metroid Prime Trilogy HD could finally be announced, and it could be coming out in that May slot. Now, some of you may say it's just too late to announce the game to come out in May. Well, I will counter that with Labo VR. That was announced not too long ago, and it's coming out within a month of its announcement, basically. So the premise of there being a Nintendo Direct in April and Metroid Prime Trilogy HD getting announced and then it coming out in May is actually feasible. It's reasonable because there are other games published by Nintendo that are getting announced about a month before its release and they're coming out. So I do think it's possible that a game like Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, which at the end of the day is just going to be kind of like a remaster probably with, you know, HD visuals, that's not that major of a title when you think of it in that way. I don't think it's crazy to think that Prime Trilogy HD could come out this May. Will it though? Well, I'm not going to tell you guys to 100% believe it's going to happen because, well, one, we never really know, but also two, we've been let down several times when it comes to Metroid this year, so I'm not going to completely buy into this possibility, but I am acknowledging it as a possibility. Another game that we can maybe see announced instead of Metroid Prime Trilogy HD could be Pikmin 3. There have been rumors of a Pikmin 3 port that was rumored along with Trilogy HD and Mario Maker and a 2D Zelda, which we've all gotten. Well, not Metroid, but you know, the other two. So I am inclined to believe that this Pikmin 3 port is also highly likely, and maybe that could take up the May slot instead of my precious Metroid. Also a possibility. So that's what I'm thinking, guys. I'm thinking that there's going to be an April Nintendo Direct, and it's going to talk about Smash Brothers. It may talk about Animal Crossing, but I think there's a pretty good chance that'll still be at E3, maybe. And then if there is going to be a Nintendo published game or some sort of remaster or port to come out relatively soon for the May time, it will also be at the Nintendo Direct. We'll get some third-party updates, and it'll be a pretty solid Nintendo Direct, even though the February Nintendo Direct was already a pretty big deal. Now, I'm gonna stress that if this does happen, I think a lot of people will have preferred the February Nintendo Direct. I don't expect this Direct to be as major, unless you're really excited for Smash Bros. And nothing else, then of course you will prefer this Direct over the February one. But I do think we're gonna get some announcements here, and I do think April makes sense considering the history of Nintendo Directs. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is happening? Do you guys think there will be an April Nintendo Direct? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm really curious what you guys have to say. This is AndresRestart. If you're new here and you love Nintendo content, please make sure to subscribe, and leaving a like would also be greatly appreciated. Anyways, everyone, that's all. I'll see y'all really soon.